when I talk about the N and the M, you know, I was also getting into the W and the V, with the V and the W. So there's a movie called 23 with Jim Carrey. So you could see W a lot of different ways, but when I see the word two, you also have toe. And one thing I want to talk about is even looking at this picture. So we see red at the bottom. We could look at a word like a tree falls down, we say timber. So in Tim, we also see the word mitt. Mitt is to catch. So to catch red, to fall, is that ripple, the falling ripple. It's timber. So we can decode that through the patterns of sounds and frequencies. That's how I see things. What clicks like lightning. So it's enlightening, whatever, you know. Um, so with the M and the N, we see the connection points. So with the Lucifer, there's a lot of tongue twisting things, but to make sense of it, we see a loosening and we see a tightening. So when we look at the word light and weight, we see the L and the W, which is that three and the five. So the W is also the three, right? And the V is also the five. So we have this correspondence of flickering patterns. Um, and then what I want to talk about with mit is when we add an E in front of it, we get emit, which is to emit, which is the opposite of mit. And then we also have time. So we're adding that three or five, which is also the E. Um, so speaking of fall, look at that triangle with the A. A can also be seen as one, which one is three, triangle is three. And we could also look at watt for electricity. Um, so you got Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, or Son, Father, and Holy Ghost, which is 369. So um, that's when I'm trying to get into that rhythmic, that flow. So anyway, I don't fully understand that because I also see there's a 4, 5, 6. But again, we're also dealing with the loosening and tightening. So this is one thing that worked for me, okay? So I'm making sense of this. I see the 7 and the 6 and the symbol G and the arrow. But for me, okay, this was driving me nuts. I couldn't, when I can't find something. So it's almost like this metaphysical focus to where things actuate or whatever, appear and disappear. But then there's always this correspondence to everything is as it is, um, within and without. So, with that in mind, with the driving craziness, I was thinking about the just untying the knot, untying the knot. And every time I untied the knot, it would appear what I was looking for. So, when you look at the seven, seven is sever, and it's also to tie. So, if you look at TIE 29.5, right? That's 2, 9, which is 11, which is 2, and 5 is 7, right? And you look at untie, which is 21, 14, which is 3, 5, which is 8, but the 7, 15, which is 6. So we get that 6 and the 7. So in my pocket, untie. In the military, there's these things called spot checks. So, as a kid, I was always told, down low I got ADD and all this stuff, right? But anyway, the spot check is that's one thing that's like measure twice, cut once, like step back. It's like the metaphor of tie. But when we look at G, the 7 and the 6, and we're doing that sound with a P, which is also 7. You know, we have dual spinning Ouroboros with the snakes and the occult symbolism. I don't really know what all that. I just know what I see there. So anyway, it has to do with obviously bending with the space and time. So it's just like mastery and footing. Um, anyway, we see the owl eyes there. That's the M and the W is always the middle. And I don't want to trail off without my notes here, but I was wanting to chime in with that time and the emit, and hopefully that other thing downloads TBC.